I want to learn how to program. What language should I choose to learn first? Stay tuned, and I'm going to answer that question for you right now. Cue the intro. Stop the intro. Shit's too long anyways. Alright, let's talk about programming. You're not sure what language you should be learning first, so you researched it. You've came across many videos and many articles, and they're all not really telling you exactly what you want to hear. Because you've gotten so many different answers, you're pretty much confused. Well, I've been in the programming field for over 13 plus years, so my challenge to you is just listen to me, right? I've been teaching people languages for a very long time. Just listen to me. Don't watch another video after this to confuse yourself, and just do it. Alright, enough wasting your time. It's time for me to tell you what language you should learn so you can carry on with your day and do more productive things like watching this video. Alright, I have one question for you though, just one. Something's going to pop into your head right away, but the words that will come out of your mouth is going to be, well, I'm not sure. I want you to listen to the thing that pops in your head, alright? Here's my one and only single question before I tell you what language that you should learn. What are you going to do with it? Like, once you learn a language, what are you learning it for? What's your purpose? What's your end game? Is it just me, or does Obama's, which is a mixture of Obama and Thanos, kind of look like Dwayne Johnson? Suspicious. Obviously, if you're going to learn a language like, for example, Spanish or something like that, it's because your relatives are Spanish or you're planning a trip to Mexico or somewhere where they speak Spanish. So, for you to learn a language, you might be planning on making some web apps or web games or website, or making some really cool like 3D games like Fortnite and stuff like that. Or maybe you're planning on getting into mobile, make some mobile apps, whatever the case may be. The truth is, it doesn't matter really what language you learn first, but it matters that you learn something that's easy first. So, what I'm trying to say is, once you learn one language, it's not like learning a real language like Spanish, English, or Portuguese or something like that. It's really not. People will say, oh, learning a programming language is like learning another language. No. What you're learning to do is think. You're learning to think like a programmer, like a developer. You're thinking logically and solving problems. So once you learn one, you will see that all the others are pretty much the same. They're just written differently. So I would learn the easiest one so you can get the understanding, get the thinking down, and all the others, dude, you'll pick those up in less than a week. Alright, I'm done stalling. It's time for me to answer your question for you. What language you should learn first? If you are planning to make some web-based apps, some cool websites, some IO games, you should learn HTML5. Hands down. Close the book, turn off the light. We're done. That's it. There is no other answers here. Just HTML5. Boom, point blank. And with HTML5, obviously, you're really learning three languages because you have to learn the CSS and the JavaScript to make things look pretty and do stuff. So with HTML5, you learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I know it's a handful, but you just got to get started somewhere. And trust me, by like a month into it, you'll be proud of yourself. Next, if you are not going to make websites or web apps or cool IO games, and you're planning on making applications like software, stuff that's on the computer, or even games like Fortnite and awesome 3D or 2D games, using tools like Unity, 3D, Unreal Engine, etc. Well, surprisingly, the answer to that is learn Python. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. You can't even use Python in those game engines I just mentioned. That's true. You can't. But Python is super easy to learn. You can pick that thing up within a week, within a couple of days. And Python will give the understanding of what a object-oriented language is all about. Then, my friend, you can hop over into Unity, C Sharp, or whatever, C++ for Unreal Engine, and you will see everything start coming into place. Light bulbs will be going off in your head like 4th of July. So to get you on your way learning some Python, there's many sites out there like PixelPad where you can build 2D games like right now using PixelPad. There's also sites like Code Combat that will give you a nice introduction where you go ahead with another 2D game and you kind of like solve problems going through it. That will help you learn yourself some Python. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and spend years, learning Python and become a Python master. No, use Python as an introduction so you can understand the world of object-oriented programming. And like I said before, guys, like once you understand it, programming is all about learning to think like a programmer. You're actually not learning like another language like you would speak English and Spanish. No, and whoever says programming is like learning another language, it is not. It is just learning how to think. Writing it is a different story, and to write it is simple. Anything you don't know how to write, you would then just Google, hey Google, how do I create a for loop? But the thing is, how do you know that you need a for loop? When do you use a for loop? That is the part that you would be learning. When you need something. And as soon as you know when you need something, guys, at that point you just simply Google it and you will see how it's written in that new language, because you already know one, you know how to think and how it would work. When you transition it into another language, like from Python to like C Sharp, if you're going to build Unity games, you run into an issue where you're like, okay, well, I need some sort of function here, but I'm not sure how to write it in C Sharp. And you can just Google how to write C Sharp function, because you already know that you would need one there. And that's where the thinking comes in. That's all you're learning, is how to think logically and how to problem solve. Because then you would start seeing, okay, well, Google says I just have to add this void here, and then the language name, the function name here, and that should be how I create one, which, hey, kind of looks similar to the Python. And you will see that everything is, the language structures and formats are slightly different, and the syntax are different. But like you'll be able to look at one language, look at another language, and then look at even a third language, and you'll see that there's a pattern to how they're written. They're just written slightly different. So honestly, start by just learning the one that's easy to learn, and that way you've already breached the gap. So the other ones, you can pick those up, and no doubt, guys, you can pick those up in about a week and a half if they're really difficult. But you're not spending years and money invested into some weird courses out there trying to learn a new language, right? That's all I got for you guys. If you guys like, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, share it, blah, blah, blah. You know the rest. Cue the outro.